This week on the terrific Every Other Thursday training video, George is going to walk us through adding some contact information to your Koha staff login page to be more support friendly. So stick with us. We'll be right back. So George, tell us about what you have going in your evil plan to make yourself available during off hours.
Well, first of all, I'm George Williams. I'm the Next Search Catalog Coordinator at Northeast Kansas Library System.
I'm
ahead.
Christopher Brannon with the Coeur d'Alene Public Library and the Cooperative Information Network, soon to be changed to Inland Northwest Libraries.
Cool. For a long time, we have had on our system, when you log in, this is not our system, this is the koha-US demo site, but if I go to our site to the login screen, for a long time, I've had a message up here reminding people how to get in touch with us. Knuckles contact information. And that's not something that's built into the login page, but there is a system preference called login instructions. And you can do all kinds of crazy things there. So what I did on ours was pretty simple. To start off with, it was just some text at the top of the page that has our contact information there. And, now I realize that it's got all of our contact information in there. It's not a big deal. This is all publicly available information anyway, so it's not a big deal to hide it. But the way that we added that involves the system preference, like I said, staff login instructions. And so I'm going to bring a different page into the window here. So this is the koha-US demo site. This is in one browser to get to the login page, and this is in a different browser. I've got the system preferences open for that setting. So the first thing that I did is, I create a script and a function. This runs when it gets to the bottom of the script when the page is loading. It says Windows on load. It's going to run this function right here. So the first part creates the actual contact information, and this is just all the HTML that's in that contact information. And there's a point here where I've got a div with some information in it, and I've got an ID on that called Neckel's office is open. And on the second half, I've got a div that's called Neckel's office closed. And on this one, the style is to not display. And on the first one, it says style not display. So I've created both of these messages, and when the page loads, it's not going to show either of them until the second part of the function runs. And so the first thing that I had to do, I realized, because I did this right before daylight savings time, I created a date with some JavaScript. It's creating a date, and it's going to determine in this part here whether we're on Central Daylight Time or Central Standard Time. And then we're going to set some variables for the weekend hours and the hours we're not closed, that we're not open. So if you look at this, this is what it looks like when we're open. So if somebody goes to work at 9 o'clock in the morning and tries to log into Koha, that's what they're going to see.
Okay.
If I And I've just added all of that code to the koha-US demo site. If I change the time on this, if I'm going to trick it into thinking that it's that we are closed, it's going to change the message. And it's going to put big letters that'll say the Nichols office is typically open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. If you need immediate help, call the after hours number, because we do have a number where people can reach us when the office is closed. And that's what shows when the office is closed. If the office is open, the switch throws a different message, and you just get the contact information.
Nice.
So yeah, it's all done in the login instruction system preference. I create the message, and then this part here just is a yes or no. Is the Nichols office open? If yes, remove that first, change that the first part of the message up here, remove this style display none. And if we're not open, it's going to remove that and display a different message.
So does this take into account weekends or holidays?
Yeah. The way that it works is, if part of this set the open hours and weekend variables. So if the day is less than 1 or greater than 6, so if it's Sunday or Saturday, then it's a weekend. And if the hours are before 8 or after 17, then it's either, so if either of these conditions are true, we're closed. And if none of these conditions are true, we're open. And so all this does is, if the Nichols office, if open hour is true or weekday is true, then show that we're closed. Or if open hour is not true or weekday is not true, then show the closed part. And if these are true, then show us as open. So it's pretty simple code. The hard part, as always, is creating a date. And I had to throw in some code here to say, the first day of the first Sunday in March, change us to daylight savings time, and the first I had to write in the code to determine whether or not it's daylight savings time, because I didn't want to have to go in there and manually set that every year. So.
But so, okay, it doesn't look like it does take into account holidays then.
No, it doesn't take into account holidays, and that's why I wrote the message so that, let me change this back so that we get the office is closed message. The closed message is the Nichols office is typically open.
Okay.
I didn't want to have to find a way to dig the holidays out of the Koha calendar. I didn't want to get that complicated. This was complicated enough. And that's why I said typically, because we don't have as many holidays as the staff would like.
And for you to use the holidays, you would have to be listed as a branch in.
We are.
You are, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
We are a branch, and we do have we hold a professional development collection for our member libraries.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that here's a book that's on my desk right now that you can't
Which we can't see. Oh, there we go. Okay.
This is one of the ones from our professional development collection. We have about 300 titles in our collection here that are available for our libraries. And we have, on behalf, let me go back to our production system. We Next Search Catalog, we subscribe to Flipster, and on behalf of our member libraries, NECL subscribes to Library Journal through Flipster. So all of our staff members and all 50 of our libraries have access to Library Journal through Flipster, through our
Nice.
professional development collection. So
Very cool.
yeah. So NECL's does have books. You know, you've been here. You've seen
Yeah.
our offices. That's not a very big collection, but we do have materials.
So, okay, I just have to point out, if you go back to your after hours message,
Oh, I
um,
think I accidentally closed it.
I before we started recording, I gave you a
Yeah.
little bit of flack for a little bit of inconsistency in your message. Not to say, that what you've done is great. Just I have to. This is me thinking outside the box, and it's like, okay, your after hours message up at the top says points people to the number listed below, but for the email, you go ahead and spell it out. It's like me, that would drive me nuts. It's like, if either provide them both
It's
in the message and get rid of the stuff below, or refer them both at the message below rather than one and not the other. So,
This message is brought to you by the Department of Redundancy Department.
but anyways, yeah, first off, I didn't know about that particular preference to be able to throw things on this screen, so that's good to know. And I think what you've done is great. Some timing trickery, plus not only timing trickery, but also figuring out whether or not it's daylight savings. That's pretty cool.
I knew it was coming up when I wrote this, and so I spent like 6 hours writing the daylight savings time stuff into there so that I wouldn't have to spend 2 minutes doing it twice a year.
Nice.
So that's kind of the method of automating something, is it takes forever to automate something so you can save like 2 seconds a year.
So yeah, so I hope people find that helpful. Again, I didn't know about the preference, so yeah, you can go ahead and add extra information to this page for your staff members, which could be helpful for people like me that don't want to be bugged when I'm off work. Not so much, but anyways.
Well, we have our after hours numbers rotates. If you call the after hours number, it contacts several different people on staff, and whoever is the unfortunate one that doesn't look at the caller ID on their phone to realize it's work, they're the ones that answers those questions.
I,
But you can do other things with the login instructions. Another thing that I do with it is the day after an upgrade, I will put a message on there that says, remember to clear your cache. If there's some special circumstance going on, I can put messages there to remind people about things. If there's a point when you get to that point where you've failed to log in and you've locked yourself out of your account, there's a built-in message, but I use some CSS to make that message bigger and I put a link in it that goes to the instructions of how to reset your account. So there's lots of stuff you can do on the login page. And this is
nice.
the most recent thing that I've done with it.
All right. Well, if you have any comments about this modification or questions, please feel free to reach out to us on Mattermost, or you can leave a comment in the video and we will try to get back to you. Sometimes we follow up in our videos, so be sure to let us know what you think of this modification. And we will see everybody again here in 2 weeks. Thank you for joining us.